I'll be showing you how to set up a domain today and add clients to that domain. So I'm using Windows Server 2008 and as the server, and to add, and the client that I'm using to add to the domain is, okay, so firstly I'm going into my VirtualBox so I can configure the networks using the settings for my server. Right, I'm coming down to network and I'm changing in the attached to host only adapter. Right, and then I'm coming down into the advanced settings, and then for promiscuous mode I'm clicking down on the drop box and I'm going to allow VMs. I'm pressing OK. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing for Windows 7. So I'm coming down to the network, going to attach to, then we're going to click host only adapter, advanced, and in promiscuous mode allow VMs again. Press OK. Okay, now that we're finished with that, we're going to just minimize, and then before we set up the domain, we actually have to set up a static IP address for the server. Alright, so let me just put in my password here for the server. I'm going to click network. Network sharing center. Alright, and now that you're saying network discovery, before we go into that, let me just go into manage network connections. We're right clicking on it and local area connection and go into properties. Right, we're unchecking IP version 6 because we're not using it, and then we're double clicking on IP version 4. As you can see, it's on obtain IP address automatically. That means it's a dynamic IP address, it's changing all the time. So we want it static. So we're going to click on use the following IP address and we're going to enter 92.168.0.1. That's one. We're going to leave this blank and we're going to put the preferred DNS server as 192.168.0.1. And we're going to press OK here. Press OK. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can actually go on to change the name of the computer. So we right click on computer, go to properties, then change settings. This is the computer description, so we can change here, and this is the computer name that it has right now. So I'm going to change this to server server dash PC. Right. Right now it's on work group. It's not a domain as yet. All right. So we'll come back to this. So we press OK. So I'll have to close off all my stuff. But we'll just restart it for now. Okay, so now that our computer is reset, right, we're going to search for DC promo. So you can go in the search bar and type in DC promo. All right, click on it. All right, what this does, it actually enables your domain to add groups, policies, etc. All right, this might take a little while. Okay, so after you have clicked on it, your installation wizard comes up. All right, so you're gonna just click next again, and here we have existing forest or create a new domain in a new forest. Since we want to make this server the main primary domain, so we're gonna click create a new domain in a new forest, and then we're gonna click next. All right, so here we're gonna actually type in the domain name that we're gonna name it. So I'm gonna name it jassymaf.com. And next, just checking to see whether it has this name already in the forest. This may take a little while, so I'm just gonna pause the video. Okay. Forest functional level. Come down here, and we're using Silver 2008. All right, and then we're gonna click next. All right, we're gonna leave DNS server checked, and we're gonna click next here. All right. Yes, we want to continue, and then we're gonna leave all the default locations here that they have already inputted. And we're gonna click next, and then we're gonna enter a password. So we're gonna use all the normal conventions for a password, which is a capital letter, normal characters, and a number. All right. So let's put in something here. All right. I think I can remember that. All right. So they're showing you all the function levels. Normally you can export it. It's recommended that you export it, but I'm not doing that for this tutorial. Okay, so you can export all these features so you can back it up actually, but I'm not doing that for this tutorial. So I'm just gonna click next. All right, waiting for DNS installation to finish, and I want it to reboot on completion. All right, so this might take a little while, so let me just pause the video until it finishes. Okay, now, so after the computer was restarted, you can see now that my name has changed on top here. This is the domain name. All right, and can, if you want to go on to the normal profile, you can always go on other user and type in the computer name / administrator and the normal password. Alright, so we're going into the domain now. Put in the password that I entered. The password must be changed, okay. Alright, my password has been changed. So Windows Server 2008 is being starting up. Alright, so now I can show you if I go on administrative tools, all my Active Directory settings that wasn't there before is now there. Right, my different tools that you can use that wasn't there before, the Active Directory tools. All right, so now we're gonna go on the Windows 7 and create a static IP address. All right, so can go on Open Network and Sharing Center. Right, we're going on Advanced Settings. Alright, so here we're actually turning on Network Discovery, turn on File and Printer Sharing. Alright, and turn off Password Protected Sharing, and you're gonna save the changes. Alright, so we're going to Adapter Settings now. You're gonna right click on Local Area Connection, click on Properties, we're unchecking IPv 6, and we're double clicking on IPv 4, and then we're going to use the static IP address of 192.168.0.2. Alright, and we're using the same subnext mask 255.255.255.0, and for the default gateway, gonna put in the same IP address as your domain, 192.168.0.1, and we're gonna put it in here again, same IP address as the domain, 192.168.0.1. Alright, and then we're going to press OK, and OK again. So yeah, it's identifying network too. Alright, and we're going to make a home network. I'm going to close. Alright. Okay, now that we're finished with that, we want to see if the computers are communicating. So I'll go on to my Windows Server 2008. I'm going into command prompt, and I'm going to ping the IP address of the server. Let's see if it's working. So I'm going to type in ping 192.168.0.1. Okay, it's replying. Okay, so it's communicating. Alright, and I'm going to communicate with Windows 7 IP address, sorry, 192 ping 192.168.0.2. Right, so it's communicating. Right, so both PCs are now seeing each other. Alright, so now we can actually go back onto our Windows 7 and rename this computer here. So we're going to go on computer, click properties, sorry, right click on computer and click properties, and we're going into change settings here. Alright, so we can rename and we're going to change, then I have it as Jassie's PC. Well, let's put Windows 7 PC. Windows 7 PC. Alright. And we're going to actually add it to the member of the domain. So it'll be a member of the domain. Alright. And you have to actually put in the domain name, which was jassief.com. Alright. Let me press OK. And they'll ask you to enter the password. So username and password. So I'm gonna put in /administrator. And then I'm gonna put in my password. Press OK. Right, well, and it'll give you this confirmation sign. Welcome to jassy4.com domain. Press OK. Right, before restarting, saving. Okay, so we're just gonna press OK. I'm gonna close off this. I'm gonna restart my Windows 7. Okay, now it has reset. My Windows 7 has reset, so I'm going back into the network sharing center. And now you can see that it's a part of my domain network here. Alright, so before we just want to check up on a few things, we have to turn back on the network discovery, turn on, well, not necessarily file and printer sharing, but that's if you want to. Right, and gonna leave on that, and then we're gonna save changes. Sometimes the changes resets upon the restart. So, all right. Okay, so now that we're seeing that the domain, the Windows 7 is actually under the jassy4.com domain. All right, we'll go on to the server. We're gonna go on network. Right, so we are saying the two PCs, the server PC and the Windows 7 PC, and it's under Jassy4F. All right, so it's now connected to the domain. All right, so the two clients. So that's it for